All right, here, come here. Hey, I gotta tell you something. I'm addicted to brake fluid, but I can stop at any point. Today, I'm gonna be installing brakes on Crusty. I am hoping to pull the tub off of this Jeep here pretty soon, but with that, I wanted to make sure I get all the brake lines run for the front, because when I pull it off, I'm gonna clean up the frame, I'm gonna get it all painted, I want everything to be done and in place for that. And so to do that, I thought, let's go ahead and run the brake lines and get them in place while I have the brake booster where it needs to be. For those of you that don't know or haven't been following along, or maybe I haven't even mentioned it, I don't know. But I did graft a Jeep Cherokee firewall into the firewall of the Jeepster, and so that brake booster is there, it's at home. And so now what I need to do is go ahead and get the brake lines run from the axle up to the brake booster, and I want to run it along the firewall as well to keep it tucked out of the way, nice and clean and tidy. And so I need that tub to be in place before I run those brake lines to make sure they're where they need to be. And so today I'm going to be talking about brakes, running brake lines. I'm also going to be cleaning up the inner fender wells, making sure there's clearance for everything in the front end before I pull the tub off here in a few weeks. So come on and join me. I already have the inner fenders removed so that I can run the brake lines. I didn't film any of that.
What did you say?
It's kind of boring stuff, but the inner fenders are removed. I've actually also trimmed them, got all that done already. I'll just kind of show you what the final product looks like. So, but the brake line piece, it's pretty straightforward too, but you know, I thought I would still go ahead and show it. And so with that, let's go ahead and get this removed. Maybe. This is so typical. I bolted it back together to hold it in place. Fender's coming off. And I have all the space to run the brakes. So now that we have the fender off, let's talk a little bit about the brake lines. I already ran the passenger side over in the stock location. I ran it along the frame here in the stock spot, around everything, around the motor mounts, ran it up the firewall and to the Cherokee brake booster. And so all of that side is done. And I thought now I can go ahead and show you the driver side and how that process is gonna work. It's a little bit shorter, should be a little bit easier to get that run. I'll show you a couple of the tricks that I do when I'm doing this. So first, when you're buying the brake line, this coiled brake line is way cheaper than anything else that I've found. And so I actually already had this left over from some previous projects. And what I do to straighten this, these are screen door rollers that I used to attach them to my workbench, and I found this seems to work pretty well by itself. And so I just went ahead and attached it to a piece of steel. And so you can see this will actually roll through those rollers just like that, and then as I push it through, it'll actually straighten out this rolling. So you can kind of go back and forth, and now everything will be nice and straight as I go, versus trying to sit here and kind of hand straighten this out. You'll get a much straighter brake line from it just working through this process. So, you know, I'll go ahead and straighten out a little bit of this as well. Like I said, you can see just kind of already straightening itself out, looking much better than it was. The other thing too that I found doing it this way versus doing it on the workbench is it allows me to kind of work with the material, you know, wherever I'm at, versus having to move over to the workbench every time. I can straighten a small section, leave the rest coiled, however I want to kind of work it that way. And then you can see just kind of work it back and forth, and it straightens it out pretty nicely. And so that's a little trick for straightening out this brake line hump tubing that I found works really well. Those are just, again, screen door rollers attached to a piece of steel, attached to a workbench, whatever. But now you have a mostly straight line versus it being bent. And now we can go ahead and work on getting this run from the booster down to the frame. You know, another thing too, I guess I could say, is that I have seen people, you take some heavy wire and kind of already preform a template, and then you can move it back over to the brake line and make your bends exactly to that template. To me, I'm just gonna kind of do it as I go. So for the brake line, if you guys don't know how to flare brake lines, this is the way it works. You take the flaring tool. Also, this is the most important piece, often forgotten. Make sure that your fitting is on your hose, on your brake line, before you flare it. Don't ask me how I know, but make sure that that's on there. Get in that habit. And then what we're gonna do, so this is 3/16 brake line. This is just gonna sit in here like so. This is gonna come around, and then we're gonna loosely tighten this up just a little bit, so that way we can still adjust it as needed. And we're gonna take this piece, and that's gonna help us set the depth. So you want that to be basically the exact same depth as that first notch on this piece. So you can see that's pretty much where it needs to be. Okay, nice and pretty much even that first step on that. So now what we'll do, we'll go ahead and tighten this down. Make sure that that is all nice and flush. I'll just grab a little wrench and just tighten it all the way. Make sure it's good and snug. Don't want those brake lines to come out. So there we go. Now what we'll do, this piece, you'll push that end into there, just like so. This will give us our first flare, and so then this will come over, just like so, and then we'll go ahead and tighten this down. So you can see that's nice and flush, everything's good and squared up. Okay, so then we're going to go ahead and tighten this down, get the brake line crushed into place all the way flat. Then we're going to go ahead and pull this out, pull that out. You have your first flare. Woo! Just like that, you can see. Then we're going to take this one here, we're going to push it right back down in again, get that nice and centered, push it down again as well. So then that'll give us our double flare action for the brake line. So then that crimps over, everything is good to go. And we now have a double flared brake line. So then we'll just remove it, loosen these up. So those are nice and loose. This comes out, that sits nice and flush in there. And then what I need to do next is go ahead and get this run where it needs to go. This side will be a lot easier than the other side, but this is gonna sit about right here. So I want to go ahead and run the brake line straight up and then over. So I'm going to mount this about right there, and I want to run the brake line up and then over parallel to this one. So this one must be secured down more like this, and then I'll run this other line up and then over and down as well. So that will be the process to get this going. Now to bend your tubing, you don't want to just hand bend it. You do want to try to make sure you keep it on a radius as much as possible so that nothing's kinked, your brake lines continue to work. And so these work really well. I don't know the name of the tool, but they work really well. So you basically just secure this piece here. You get the 0 to 0 lined up just like that. And then this just pulls down and over. And so you can see that 0 mark. So there it is, it's bent right at 90. And so that would be a 90-degree bend. And so we'll kind of hold that right there. I'll go ahead and pull this back. You can see a little bit snug of a fit just with the rest of the coil being here right now. But you can see this will fit pretty nicely on that radius. And so then I want that next radius to come down right over here and back down. And so I'll go ahead and bend that back again, just like so. So then that gets secured. I want that to be just at a 90 to the last one that we did. And so that'll come and slide right there. We'll push this down. Oop. Gosh. Everything's better on camera, isn't it? That gets secured. There we go. So then that'll bend back down. So you can see we have exactly the shape that we needed right there. It'll just mount perfectly, and then we'll go ahead and bend it back out that way and run it over to the firewall.
6.5 hours later.
So then these brake lines are going to run just parallel, just like that. I'll still straighten them out some more, but this will give me a rough bends to work from here. And then this will come up the firewall just like that, and bent over right alongside this one. And then that's where it needs to go at 90. Back. Should be getting really close. Yeah. So then that'll sit just like so. Okay, so then that will need to be straightened out, and then this will come around here and we'll get it kind of looped down and attached. So there we go. I'll show you the final shot of this. You don't need to see me squirming around getting everything fitted, but I'll get this all put back together, finish getting these brake lines routed. You can see it takes just a little bit of trial and error, getting things in place, manipulating it, moving around, and then finishing it up. I think this will work really well. And now when I pull the tub, I'll know the brake lines and exactly where they need to go for the front. And then that'll also help give me a reference when I have everything off. I'm going to run the rear brake line up to the front as well. And so that'll give me a reference of where I need to run the third brake line up for the back brakes and attach it to the booster up here. So that is going to save me a lot of time, a lot of effort in the future, going ahead and getting this part of the project done now. Also, while I'm waiting to get some help to get the tub pulled off, this allows me to keep moving forward and making progress on Crusty the Commando. It's a little bit difficult to see, but the brake lines are now completely routed. I'm going to clean them up, straighten them out a little bit, get the turns looking a lot better, but overall you can see they run nicely up the firewall here. I don't know if I can get a good angle. So they just run right up the firewall there to the stock brake booster. So routed, nice, tucked away. It's kind of difficult to get a good shot, but there they are in their final installation. Okay, so brake lines done, checked. Next piece, let's get the inner fender wells installed. As I mentioned earlier, I did go ahead and cut some clearance for the coil buckets and the shocks, got those where they're gonna be. Again, I wanted to make sure the brake lines are gonna clear all the inner fender wells. The steering that I did in a previous video, I wanted to make sure those are gonna mount nicely on the inner fenders and are routed in a manner that will work well with those inner fender wells. And then I also just want to touch them up with a little bit of black paint to make sure that I was happy with the look of it. You know, again, let me know what you guys think. Should I keep them black like that, or should I kind of patina them out to match the outside of the Jeep? Still a little torn on which one I want to do, but for now they're going to be black until I can make up my mind completely. So without further ado, let's show you what those inner fenders look like. Here's the final install of the inner fender wells. As you can see here, I did go ahead and trim up so it fits nicely along the coil bucket. You can see all painted nice and black. I got it installed on this side, and if we pan over, this is the passenger side. You can see that one a little bit better. So just trimmed right around that coil bucket to make it fit nice and neat. I just painted it black. I still need to clean them up. They're a little bit rough looking, but for the most part, it's ready to go. And you can see I have my Banks Ram Air cleaner, and it fits nicely right here on this piece. And so that just bolted in place. It looks like it's gonna clear the hood just fine. And so overall, this is what the engine bay currently looks like with the inner fender wells cut and in place, painted black. As I mentioned, do you think this looks better black, or should I paint it patina to match the rest of the Jeep's theme? So overall, looking really good, have it in place. All right, well, as you've seen now, I have brake lines run from both tires up front. Everything's in place, everything's good to go. The inner fenders are in place as well, so that's in. Everything cleared the coil buckets nicely. I added a little bit of paint to those so that they're nice and touched up, you know, ish, within reason. Really, overall, I'm happy to be making more progress. I've got the brake lines in place, all those wonderful things, and I hope you enjoyed today's video.